All right, Elliot, I can't take it anymore. I think I just got to say it. I think Sam Altman is fucking evil.
Wow, what? Everybody loves him.
I know, and if you would have asked me 3 years ago, I also would have said that I love Sam Altman. I thought he was the next Steve Jobs. But there's a lot of reasons why it's questionable, and we'll cover those. But I'm just going to pop up this graphic on the screen for just 1 second, just to give a little teaser, because this was the thing that set me off. Here it is. And that may not look scary at first, but I promise you, when you hear my take on it, it'll piss you off. So we got a lot to get into. You want to dive in?
All right, I'm coming at it with an open mind.
Let's go. From blankinvesting.com, this is Money Grooves, the show for intelligent investors. I'm David. I've been investing for over 10 years.
And I'm Elliot. I'm an amateur investor.
Today's episode, why Sam Altman might be evil. So going all the way back to the very beginning, OpenAI was founded as a non-profit.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the open was because they wanted to release basically everything and be completely transparent and create a safe way to get to artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Sure, that makes sense.
To benefit all of humanity was their mission statement. But then in 2019, they shifted to a capped for-profit model, so anyone who invested could only get 100 times what they put into it, which, sure, that's kind of weird, but whatever. And then ever since then, the governance has just gone out the window. And I tried to dig into it, and there's tons of questions about how this governance and how this system actually works.
Sure.
So that's problem statement number one. That's the small one. I could forgive that. You could say, effective altruism. You didn't really, who knew? You didn't know it was going to be this big when they founded it back in 2015.
Right. Things change when scale happens, like how it has with OpenAI.
Yeah. But then when I started looking into it more, it just didn't really add up. For instance, he says that he doesn't care about money.
Sam Altman says he's not motivated by money, but let me show you why that's the biggest lie in Silicon Valley. You may be shocked to learn that Sam Altman only makes $76,000 per year from OpenAI. He's been very vocal about how little money he makes and that working at OpenAI as a CEO is his dream job.
So that's cool, but do you know what he drives?
I'm prepping myself for this.
Drives a $20 million McLaren.
Oh, man, that's that vintage one, too.
Yeah, it's a
nice.
sick car.
Awesome, yeah.
But also, you're not going to tell me you don't care about money and then drive a $20 million McLaren.
Right, it's no accident that he's driving that car.
Yeah, yep. So we got the problem of the weird-ass governance structure where you have a nonprofit, but then you're driving a $20 million McLaren. Then you have claiming that you don't care about money. And then he lied to Congress. Allegedly lied to Congress. Here's that.
You make a lot of money, do you?
I paid enough for health insurance. I have no equity in OpenAI.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm doing this because I love it.
However, in 2024, Sam Altman admits in an interview that he did in fact own equity in OpenAI.
I have a tiny sliver of equity from an old YC fund. I used to have some via Sequoia fund, but that one turned out to be easier to sell and not keep the position in. Very small amount, quite insignificant to me.
So which one is it? Do you own equity or do you not own equity?
I was going to say, as soon as he started talking about equity, I was like, oh, he makes $76,000 a year. Sure, no problem. But equity is where the money's coming from.
Yeah, but he told Senator Kennedy that he didn't have any equity piece in OpenAI. So how is that okay?
Yeah.
And it's because I do have to say, it is because their governance and the way that the board and the company is set up, it's a rat's nest at this point, sure. Right? But I just don't like this sequence. This is starting to paint a sequence, right? It's starting to paint this is a trend.
Right.
And it still gets worse. This still isn't the thing that really set me off this week. Not only does he have an equity piece that he lied to Congress about, he's clearly interested in money because he drives a $20 million McLaren.
Right.
But OpenAI definitely trained on our data. There's no question about it.
1,000%.
Here's some of the proof.
Seen that time and time again.
Yeah. But the thing that really just makes me the most mad, and let's get to it now. This week, it came out that OpenAI had a $500 billion valuation.
Wow, that's amazing.
$500 billion.
Wow.
That makes them the most valuable private company in the world, in the history of the world.
Wow.
And you know how much we get to participate in that?
0, because it's private.
0. So this company that was designed to benefit humanity, to accelerate all of us, we don't get to enjoy in any of the upside in.
Right.
And that's insane. And if we look at the history of this chart from Visual Capitalist does a really good job of just showing how quickly this company grew. So in 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion. They switched to that cap for-profit model.
Yeah.
It went up to $14 billion in 21, $29 billion in 23, and then it leaked that it can in February 24 at an $86 billion valuation, and it's just jumping after that, right? And they just did a secondary round, so some of the insiders were able to sell on the secondary market their OpenAI shares, and they did so at a $500 billion valuation.
Wow. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Looking at this chart, at what point would you have liked this company to go public?
Right, he easily at a $14 billion valuation.
Wow.
But yeah, easily, and that was before GPT-3 launched, so before they hit mass market.
I was going to say that's 2021. That's a long time ago. That's before many of us had heard of AI in general.
And they wouldn't be unprecedented here. Here's why I'm so mad about it. Because our parents had the opportunity to buy Amazon at $500 million.
Wow, yeah.
And now it's a $3 trillion company.
Right.
And so they got to enjoy that entire upright.
Right.
And if you would have bought, this is as of February 20th, 2025, so even before the surge, but if you would have bought just a single share of Amazon at $18, that'd be worth more than $50,000 today.
Oh my God.
That's the amazing thing about this capitalist system that we've created, is that we can enjoy the upright if we're willing to pay if we're willing to be patient and we're willing to look at and buy companies that we understand.
Right.
And you and I work in tech. You and I would see OpenAI and we would make that investment if it made sense.
For sure.
Or at least have the option to do it.
Yeah.
And okay, so Dave, who are you to say who should and shouldn't go public? Yeah, you're right. It's not me. But the problem is he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth.
Right.
What do you see as being a big challenge that we're facing as a society right now?
How we deal with a world where the natural forces are for wealth to concentrate into the hands of a smaller and smaller number of people.
So I see what you're saying now. Sam Altman has had this history of, I want to make an open AI model for everybody, for the good of the people. I don't think it's right to concentrate wealth into the power of the hands of a few people. This whole script. But at the same time, we're seeing some kind of dodgy answers about having equity in OpenAI. We're seeing obvious displays of wealth, like a $20 million vintage McLaren. And we're also seeing this continuation of OpenAI being private when it could and probably should have been public long ago.
Yeah. That's, I mean, the idea, the way that you prevent wealth from concentrating into the hands of the few is by being a public company that everyone can enjoy. And now there's a counter argument to make that, only the top 1% own most of the stocks. Yeah, we're trying to change that. Like Flank, it literally exists so that people can take the upright in the public markets.
Well, the only way to do that is for people like you and me to buy more.
Yeah, and to show, it's because wealth has concentrated so much that the private markets now are so well funded that companies don't have to go public. They can stay private and they can have access to hundreds of billions of dollars. 30 years ago, that was only the case in the public markets.
Right. Because effectively, the privatization just means that the insiders get to do all the investing and get to do reap all the benefits. Yeah. It keeps it out of the hands of the public markets.
Yeah, it's just like Airbnb. Right. Airbnb went public at around $100 billion valuation. I would have bought Airbnb back in 2012 for $12 billion. Right. But now I get served it after all the value. Most of the upside is now out of there, and I get to buy it for $100 billion. Is Airbnb a $1 trillion company? Probably not. Yeah. So why the hell would I invest in it? Right. It's trash.
It's kind of like reach its growth potential.
Yeah. At least the part that I can see. Sure. Maybe if I studied the company and I did look for what's their path to $200 billion or what's their path beyond, and I couldn't find a motivating growth story. So we get robbed. We just and it's not the case.
We miss out on the good stuff, on the good part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but don't worry, the private equity and venture capital will just have a field day with it.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, and this sits atop a bunch of different changes too. Like there were 8,000 public companies in the 90s. Now we're down to 4,000. So we're seeing less and less public companies.
Wow.
And the financial industry is trying to change things. There's a new. We actually talked about it a couple of weeks ago that they're opening up the 401k program to private markets, which I don't necessarily agree with. We have a mechanism to allow people to invest in companies. It's called the public markets. Right. Let's use the public markets because then you get financial disclosures. Right. So you can actually see if what they're saying the company's doing is actually real. Yeah. And if they lie on those financial statements, they go to jail. Right. Presumably. Yeah. And so, but that's the avenue. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel. Let's not try to make give the public
Right.
access to private
Right.
companies.
Let's just make private go public.
go public.
Yeah. Right. We already have the mechanism, like you said.
Yeah. And there's another initiative that wants to relax the reporting requirements because they say it's hard for companies to focus on long-term growth when they have to report earnings every quarter. So the Trump administration has put forward an idea to say, let's do every half year. So you have to report earnings every 6
Sure.
months.
Sure.
And Buffett likes that. Buffett has shown support for it. Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan has shown support for it. I don't support it, actually.
Right. I mean, often is better. I do understand some of the overhead that quarterly reporting takes. Like, obviously, quarterly reporting as opposed to half-year reporting is less overhead.
Yeah.
So I get that, but yeah, I mean, as an investor, I would
hundred-
like reports. I would like reports more often than less often.
Yeah, these are companies that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
And so it is a small friction, I think, and the legislation had it, but it was on the order of like less than $10 million a year.
They can afford it. They got it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the cost to pay so that the public knows that you're not lying to them.
Yeah.
Right. If a company can just go in for 6 months and just say, oh yeah, we're cooking up all these things, we have all these great plans.
Yeah.
That doesn't hold water with me.
Sure.
And I think that you can see real use cases in the public market that support the idea that the public market can support a long-term mentality. The best case for that is Palantir, right? Palantir got crushed from 21 till 24 and then until 23, and then it lit off. Alex Karp has done a wonderful job of messaging his retail investors. It's been a masterclass. He updates us all the time. He talks to us like we're owners of the business, which is exactly what Buffett's been preaching for the last 60 years.
Sure.
So the public markets can take a long-term effect, but it's almost like Buffett once said that having a business or having a stock is kind of like having a restaurant. If you have a restaurant that's known for serving fast, crappy food, you're going to attract that type of clientele.
Sure.
But if you're a business that says, we will grow with you over the long term, we want you to come be an owner, we're playing the long game, the markets are actually wildly patient. Or at least you'll find over the years you'll get an investor base that believes in your mission, believes what you're doing, and it will give you more support than you could ever imagine.
It's the same thing with products. Me as a consumer and also as a product manager, I would rather regularly communicate to my customers or be communicated to as a consumer with updates. I appreciate updates. I appreciate when organizations own up to things that they don't think went as well as they would have liked and are just keeping me up to date and letting me know they're working on something rather than an organization or a product that doesn't communicate anything at all. But more communication drives trust, which drives people to stick with you in the long run. And, it can be painful and it can be a little bit uncomfortable to communicate. It's great to communicate when everything is good, right?
Yeah.
Good news is easy to get. Bad news is not. So, but I really do think that it's worth it in the long run if your motivations are pure and you have good intentions. I think that regular communication, be it good or bad, is more beneficial than it is harmful.
I agree. Yeah.
So you've had a lot to say this segment. Why don't you just tell it directly to Sam? Say what you want to say.
Yeah, you're right. Hi, Sam. I want to like you. I really want to like you. You're inspirational. You're smart. You have wonderful technology. You know how to amass incredibly talented people to build even better technology, but you're fucking over people like me. Why on earth would you grow a $500 billion company, which will be a $1 trillion company in less than a year? It's coming. Why would you do that without letting anyone else participate in the upside besides your fellow venture capitalists who are already beyond wealthy? You are robbing from our future generations, and you're doing it with these hushed, pensive, thoughtful, demeanor, and that just makes it seem like very disingenuous. It's very disingenuous for you to talk to us like that, and for your actions and your words to be completely bifurcated. So do the right thing, fix your governance, fix your corporate structure. It doesn't make sense, and it's becoming a rat's nest. It's like tech debt to like the 10th degree. Fix that and go public so everyone else can enjoy the upside. Hopefully, but $500 billion off of a company that's not profitable, right? It's not going to float well in the public markets right now,
right?
Other than hype,
right?
But it's still, it's not right. This is not the way we should be heading.
Yep, I agree. I would love a piece of OpenAI, and I would have liked it even better before.
Yeah.
But, there's always an opportunity to turn things around.
Absolutely. And maybe if there's like an AI nuclear winter, maybe they'll go public then, and then people who believe
Because they're
in
going
the
to need to
long
raise
vision-
some capital.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. And for everyone else who is not Sam Altman, hi. I'm David. I'm the founder of floatinginvesting.com. If you want to become a better investor, we created the world's first gym for intelligent investing. Here's how it works. Every day, you'll see a bunch of flankers and myself posting analysis on public companies, so not OpenAI, even though we do talk about it a little bit. But we're studying public companies, and we're just using our own. We're using our own insights and experiences, and we write research. That's a lot. It's a lot to ask someone to write research. If you're not comfortable doing that yet, we have something called Flux, and that's basically a super upvote. I've already given mine for the day, which is why you see that I'm on a 9-day streak. But that's the way we make you a better investor. That's how we make it really into a gym. Each day you come in, all you gotta do is read some analysis and find which one you want to give your Flux to. And when you do that, you're automatically giving some money over to the person who wrote that post. And it's a really good way. We all should be, if we're going to buy public stocks, we have to research them.
Right.
There's no better way to have that motivation I think it's a really good way to motivate someone to write research that, hey, you can make a couple bucks off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want to get started on learning how this whole investing thing works, come check out flankinvesting.com. And if you have no idea what you're doing, we got you still. We have a Learn course that will walk you through exactly how to research a stock just in the way that Warren Buffett does it. So I hope you come check it out. And we, as always, we're a young startup, so we'd love your feedback. Oh, and by the way, when Flank can stand on its own as a business, I promise we will go public early.
I'll be there for the IPO.
There we go. That's all for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, everybody.